Okay, perfect. Awesome. Thank you guys for joining. Welcome to our weekly Team Dynamite call. So I'm Angie Green, and I'm the founder of Team Dynamite. Many of you have your own teams, but you are all a part of the Team Dynamite family. And I know I talked a little bit about this last week, but a special welcome to all of our new coaches joining Team Dynamite. We are so happy to have you guys here. Formerly known as a part of Team Triceps, you are now part of the Team Dynamite family, and we're just so excited to be able to work with you. You know, usually when we have a new coach that comes into the Team Dynamite group, we do a big welcome and introduction, and we'll do a picture and everybody says welcome. And I thought I really need to do that for you guys. So I clicked on the Team Dynamite recent new members, and there's like 66 of you. I'm like, well, we're gonna have to get creative. So I will do an official announcement in the group, but you guys are a part of our family now, and we're here to support you and offer you tons of resources. Just to give you a little bit of background about these calls that we have every week, I do like to keep them short and sweet, typically no more than 20 minutes, because again, I know for a lot of you, this is your work time at night when you're working on your business, and I don't want to use up all that time on a team call. I am also a firm believer of not reinventing the wheel. So I am not shameful in using other people's trainings and information. I don't really have like a fancy, extensive training portal process, to be honest, because I am a firm believer that if you need to learn something, it is out there in Google. And chances are there's probably a top 10 or former top 10 coach, elite coach, whatever, that has a video on the topic. So why do we need to recreate that? Let's utilize those resources. What we tend to focus more on is the support and the connection within the team. So, having these weekly calls is one part of that, and just being there to help support each other through this. The business goes like this, and helping you through conversations and times when they're tough, and keeping you accountable for your own fitness goals. So that's primarily what you can expect. And, anytime that you need anything, there are resources in the files tab of the Team Dynamite group. And I will say, for some of you already know this because you follow me on Instagram stories, we are working on a website. I'm not gonna say we, my husband's working on a website. It's very simple. We're doing it ourselves because we don't want to invest a lot of money in it. But between, bringing on these new coaches into our family and with the UK launch, I'm like, okay, we probably need something a little more formal than a Facebook group. So we do have a website that will be coming up it's before the UK launch is our goal. And that will be ready then. So it's a protected password website. So as a part of Team Dynamite, you will have a password that you'll use to get into that website. And then you'll have access. We're loading so many different resources in there for you. So that's exciting. Let's hope that continues to go well, because we are not techie. All right, let's get down to business. So remember, anytime you need anything, post in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself. Of course, there's time at the end if anybody has questions. For some of you, this might be a little more basic. It might be a good refresher. Or for some of you, this might be some information to kind of help open your eyes up, because social media is always changing. So, and when I give you these tips, these are just things that I've learned recently through research. Of course, Chalene Johnson's my mentor, so I'm always learning what's new from her. I don't want you to look at this and be like, oh man, I do this right now, or this is what's happening in my, just use it, keep it an open mind, and use this as a way to potentially grow with your social media. Because if you are a coach, especially who wants to build a long-term sustainable business, you have to start thinking of your social media as your business. And sometimes when I get pushback from newer coaches, they're like, I just don't want to talk about Beachbody on my page all the time, or I don't want to talk about fitness on my page all the time because I don't want to annoy my family and friends. And I had that same exact conversation with Chalene when I first dove into social media to build my business. And her response was, Angie, are your family and friends paying for your mortgage? Are they going to pay for your next vacation? I didn't think so. So don't worry about it. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So I want you to keep that in mind too, because that is the reality. And man, social media these days, we have never had a better opportunity to build a business because we have access to up to 5,000 people just on one platform. On Facebook, you can have up to 5,000 friends. We're not even mentioning Instagram and Twitter and Pinterest and everything else. And it's free. So I really want you to start thinking about these concepts in terms of utilizing them on your social media platform. So this might apply to all different platforms. It might apply to one. And that's actually the first tip that I'm going to give you. So the first do and don't that I have is do select 2, maybe 3 platforms. Don't feel like you have to be everywhere. For me, Facebook was hot when I started building the business. I built a lot of followers there. That's probably 90% of how I've built my business. My second biggest one is Instagram. I've dabbled in Snapchat, I've dabbled in Pinterest, I've dabbled in Twitter, and those are not a priority for me at all. Snapchat, I don't get that same, connection type feel that I can develop with people on Instagram and Facebook. That's just more of letting people give, a glimpse into my life. Twitter, I have found for my audience, those are like the youngins. So those are people who are significantly younger than me. That's the type of audience that I'm seeing on Twitter, and that's not my target market. So I Hootsuite 1 post a week out there, and I, kind of forget about it. Where I really, really have my focus right now are Facebook and Instagram. And you can build a significant business on just 2 platforms. So don't feel like if you're devoting so much time because you feel like, oh, Snapchat's hot right now, I got to be on Snapchat. Oh, now I have to be here. Pinterest was big before, and what's going to be next? You start pulling yourself in so many directions that you're not really prioritizing your time. So I want you to keep that in mind, and don't feel like just because all your friends are on Snapchat that you have to be on Snapchat. Because I'll tell you, Snapchat, can you build your business? Yes, it's a great way to make connections, but it's a huge time sucker. And for me, that is like the shiny object that gets in the way for me sometimes. Okay, second tip that I have for you. Do post often. So let's talk about often. Often is going to be different for every person. Typically, they used to say you want to post 3 to 5 times per day on social media. And that's what I used to aim for specifically for Facebook. Well, then I found I was scrambling to post because I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't posted in 3 hours. And I would end up posting like crap, to be honest. I would post something just to post something. And that ended up being a waste of my time. So I want you to post quality over quantity. Now, I will say you should be posting at least 1 time a day, because if you don't post 1 time per day, Facebook is going to slap you on the wrist and they're going to say, you know what? They're not posting enough, so we're not going to grant them by putting them on other people's news feeds. They punish you. So I would post at least once per day. On average, 3 is great, but I want you to focus more on the quality of what you're posting. And let's talk about quality. So in terms of quality, we still try to follow that 80-20 rule. 80% of what you're posting is about you. So things about your job, your family, a funny story, your fitness experience, but it's not really a hard direct invite. That's only going to be 20% of what you're posting. So 20% is specific to your Beachbody business, and that could be a direct invite. So if you're following the 80-20 rule, per week, figure out how many times you're posting, and then how many times are you going to do a really hard call to action invite. Now you can do soft sells throughout the week. That would be part of your 80%. And a soft sell might be, a picture of you after you finish P90X yoga, and you talk about I was not looking forward to this P90X yoga workout because it's 45 minutes or it's 90 minutes. It's like something crazy long, right? But I got it done and I feel so much better because whatever, it helped me calm my mind. It gave me an hour and a half break away from my screaming kids, whatever it might be. Post your experience with it, but don't always post an invite. Don't feel like you have to end every post relative with, if you want more information, let me know. If you're interested in this, comment below. Click like if you want me to send you a message. That's the kind of stuff that you really only want to do in moderation. The other times you are just giving them nuggets. You help pique their interest. Chalene talks about curiosity marketing all the time. So the last time I did the 3-day refresh, I never said I was doing the 3-day refresh. I said that I was doing a mini cleanse, and I shared that throughout the 3 days. I never held up a picture of the box. I never said it was Beachbody's 3-day refresh. I just said what it was doing for my body, how it was making me feel, what I was consuming, and that kind of generates that curiosity piece that people hopefully ask you about. Or when you finally do that hard call to action, you might get more interest because you've been piquing their interest this whole time. Okay, that was a mouthful. Let's see. But when you do that 20%, when you do that invite call to action, make sure you are truly doing a call to action, because people actually like to be told what to do. So tell them what to do. If you're running a new challenge group, you're doing a sneak peek into coaching. Have you ever considered what I do as a coach? Click like or comment below, and I'll send you, put your favorite emoji and I'll send you a message, or I'll add you to the group, or whatever your call to action is. Be confident with that too. And you be confident with that call to action as if you're going to get 10 responses. Sometimes I don't get any. Sometimes I don't even get 2 likes on it. But I post it like I'm going to get 1 million. And you need to post every single day. When you post that way, you need to post with confidence, because I'm still there all the time where I'm typing it up and I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be really embarrassing if I do a call to action and nobody comments. You know what? You can't. You have to be confident, because that's going to come through in your post. Okay, number 3, do post pics and video. Don't post stock photos or logos. So people are very visual. They like pictures, and Facebook loves pictures. So if you post something with a photo, it's going to have an increased likelihood of showing up on people's news feeds, because Facebook likes that. But what is going to attract people to you the most are pictures of you, not pictures of celebrity trainers, not pictures of the Beachbody logos, not pictures from Google Images, pictures of you and things that are directly involved in your life. And you can stage that a little bit. Like, I know sometimes you run out of things to post, so you're just always posting like a selfie with a different facial expression. Don't be afraid to hold a prop or have a different type of background, or stage an exercise like you're doing a Warrior 2. It's okay to do that, to mix it up and to be creative, as long as you just continue to be yourself. You don't want to try to copy other pictures that you see. You don't want to be a social media robot where you think you have to do what everybody else is doing. You have to post what everybody else is posting. Really use your own personality and style, because that's what's going to get the most interest to you. So post pictures of you, your workouts, your family, your house. And, for people who say, I don't like showing pictures of my kids, I'm very private. Again, you really need to start thinking about social media as a part of your business. And this is how you're growing your business. So that's something that you really need to consider if you are very conservative in terms of what kind of pictures that you post. Also, so we talked about don't post any stock photos or logos. I also want you to avoid posting anything that takes them away from Facebook. Sometimes you'll see a really good recipe or a funny article and you want to share it. But if you're sharing the link, which is going to take that person away from Facebook, then Facebook is going to say, we don't want people leaving Facebook. So we're not going to put that on other people's news feeds. It's in this whole formula algorithm that Facebook has. So that's something that I definitely had to step away from once I found that out. I was always sharing those, I know you guys have seen those, pumpkin cheesecake roll-ups, and they show the little video of them making the food or whatever. I used to post that stuff all the time because I wanted to save it for me so I could make it. And then after I learned that, I don't do that anymore. So but what you could say is you could use that as a tool to gain context by saying, maybe just post a picture of it and then say, I have the link if you want the recipe or you want the link to it, comment below, and then message them the link if they're interested and start a conversation. Okay. What else? Pictures, video. Oh, okay. Really briefly, I know I have 4 minutes left. Let's talk for a second about video, because video is where it's at. And some of you who did our, gosh, a few months ago, we did our 30-day live challenge where a handful of coaches went live every single day for 30 days. They saw an increase in their business, obviously an increase in their interaction on social media. We have coaches going through a 10-day challenge right now, and they were forced to go live one day. Some of them had never done it before. They were scared poopless, but they did it, and they were getting like hundreds and hundreds of views. So hopefully we're all starting to learn that Facebook loves live video. And now that we have new coaches coming in, and we'll have new UK coaches coming in, maybe we'll do that 30-day challenge again, because that, everybody seemed to really like that, and they benefit from that, and it was fun. So that's definitely something that you want to dabble in. We did a team call on step-by-step process of going live. I'll find that link and I can post it when I post this recording, because that's a good reference. It'll give you, I think it's 12 steps on what to follow, what kind of template to follow when you go live. But you definitely want to get in the habit of doing that if you want to build your business, because it's going to bring so many more eyeballs to you. When you go live on Instagram or on Facebook, if you're on Instagram, it's going to pull your live up to the front of all the Instagram stories as long as you are going live. And with Facebook, it's going to pull you up to the top of people's news feeds the whole time you're going live. So you get a lot of attraction that way. Okay, I've got two more. Let's see. Oh, we talked about soft sells, right? Soft sells versus like spam. We don't want to do that. Okay, so here's two more. Do be engaging. Don't ignore your followers. So if you put out a post and you ask people a question, what do you prefer, A or B? And you have people say A, B, A, B, 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 A, B, A, B. Don't let that conversation go. You need to respond to them, and you need to show they're showing an interest in you. So you need to retort that to show an interest back in them, and to let them know you really appreciate their participation, because the more that they feel valued by you, the more they're going to keep coming back to your page to comment and to like and to comment and to like. So if you want to get the most out of a post, here's what you're going to do. You're going to, ask a question in your post, make it engaging. Everybody who comments below, you are going to click like on their comment, and you are going to respond under their comment and tag them. So what do you like better, A or B? Mary Smith says A. You're going to click that like, or you're going to like that comment, and then you're going to say, at Mary Smith, I agree with you, or this happened to me too, or thank you so much for commenting. Something, because what all of that is doing, you guys, is creating more engagement and more interaction on your post. And the more Facebook sees that happening, guess what they're going to do? They're going to shoot it up to the top of people's news feeds. So don't just post and walk away and let it go. Keep interacting, and you have to be careful with your time on this one, because sometimes I get stuck in, I'm on Facebook and I'm working at my computer, I'm returning messages. I just did a post that's getting a lot of interaction. So while I'm messaging, ding, I get the notification. And then I go to my page and I respond to their comment. Then I come back to my message. Ding, there's another comment. I go back, you have to monitor your time with that one. So if you post at night, it's okay. Let it simmer for a while. And when you get up in the morning, that's when you can go back and engage with the people who are engaging, because it'll still boost the post up the next day. Just make sure that, you're not ignoring them after they're commenting and liking your stuff. And in return, since people are showing an interest in you, in your page, do the same for them. Now, again, this can get time consuming. So maybe just give yourself 10 minutes a day where you are going to other people's pages and you are liking and you're commenting on other people's posts, especially if those people are on your list. You need them to see that you're showing a public interest in them. So be interactive on other people's posts, and don't try not to say something generic, like don't just say great job or congrats. Ask more conversations when you comment under their post to keep that conversation going, because again, that's all going to kind of boost up your your news feed. And honestly, that is the only time that I go on my news feed, especially on Facebook, and on Instagram actually, is when I'm going to take 10 minutes just to like and comment on some people's posts publicly. Otherwise, I am off that sucker because it will lock me in for an hour, and ain't nobody got time to be sucked in the news feed. So that's why you really just want to, if you're going to do it through your news feed, you go on, you get your job done, and you get the heck out of there. Where you need to spend the majority of your time is through your private messaging on Facebook and your messaging on Instagram or whatever social media platform you're on. Okay, one more and then we're out of here. The last one, just to wrap it all up, is to be you. You know, I already said, don't be a robot on social media. Don't be a Stepford wife or husband, sorry, Tony, and feel like that you have to post everything else that you're seeing out there. Be you. If you lead a crazy life, be crazy. If you're an athlete, be an athlete. If you're a clown, be a clown. Be funny. Just be yourself and don't try to be any other coach, because you're never going to set yourself apart. And that's really what you want to do, because that's what's going to make people want to do business with you, is because they think you're unique and they like your personality and your style, not because you can sell them a Beachbody program. They can get that anywhere. So be yourself. You do want to avoid hot topics though, things like politics and religion. And one time I asked the number one controversial topic in parenting, which is flu shot and vaccines. I made the mistake of doing that. I got so much interaction on the page, but it was not worth it, you guys. It was like West Side Story on that post. So I learned my lesson with that one. And finally, just keep it talk show appropriate. So, you know, if you are a newer coach and you're really diving into the business using social media, it may not hurt to go back and just like look through some old photos or maybe some old posts. Is there anything that looks negative? Is there anything that looks inappropriate? And, you know, I always say, like, you know, even though Oprah's not on anymore, I always say, if you wouldn't say it on Oprah, you shouldn't be saying it on social media. So just make sure that you are yourself, but you're a censored version of yourself. If that makes sense. Okay. Let me look at the chat box. Unmute yourself if you guys have questions. Would you consider posting to your Insta story as a post, or would you say post one new photo a day? So Emily, when you say, would you consider posting to, when you're saying post to your Insta story, are you meaning, unmute yourself?
Like, would you consider like posting things in your Instagram story like a post for the day, or would you say like focus on posting like one post on your actual like Instagram?
I see what you're saying. So Insta stories is a look into your everyday life. Like that's where people are going to go to really find out what you're doing. So I would do more interactive stuff on that, especially video, like talk to your phone like you're talking to them, because that's what they want to see. You could do a post up there, but it lives up there so short that I don't think you'd want to put a lot of effort into it. Save that for the feed. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Becky, I know live is where it's at, but it terrifies me. I have to learn to be myself live. Live on page or personal? Ooh, that's a good one. So Becky, I would go live, which we could have a whole nother conversation about business pages or profile pages. I would go live on your business page, and then I would sometimes share it with your personal page. And then I would also tempt them, like if you ever look at my page, I'll say, hey, on my profile page, I say, hey guys, I'm going live today in a couple hours over here, and we're talking about water or whatever, and then I'll post that link. So first, get comfortable. No, you know what? Don't get comfortable. You're never going to get comfortable going live. You just have to do it. So just do it once, get that over with, and then you can start play with where you're posting. Now, in the beginning, if you are only on your business page, you're going to get a lower amount of interaction. At least that's from my experience. So maybe it is good to start there because you won't have as many eyeballs on you. Okay, Jessica. Some of those type posts, they live forever. Yeah. Especially if you're engaging in the comments. So true. So true, Jessica. Okay, anybody have anything else? You can unmute yourself if you do. We're all good. Okay, as soon as this recording processes, I will post it underneath the team call post for tonight, and then you can share that recording with your team or copy and paste it into a document and have access to it all the time. Thanks for being on, you guys. Good night.